कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे राम कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
हरे कृष्णा। माता जी, तो मृदंग की आवाज ना दबा रही है आवाज को।
Okay, I just bring the Kartala
Yes.
because I can't able to log in with the laptop. Laptop में actually वो noise cancellation का वो option होता है, but phone में नहीं होता है.
Correct.
I just bring the Kartala. Just a minute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
मुझे ये तो बोल सकते हैं
Hare Krishna.
Yes, continue, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
बोलोगे
Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
मैं अनम्यूट
Hare
करती हूँ
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
बोल दो
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Shri Ram, Jaya Jagannatha, Baladeva, Subhadra, Jaya Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad, Jaya Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gaur, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna and Pranam, dear devotees. So, welcome to our Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. And So we'll begin. Oh, we want to see how many, Ronnie Prabhu, can you show the result? How many?
So today around 18 devotees have attempted the quiz.
Hari Bol, wow. Wonderful. Okay. And Atul Prabhu first, Vrindavan Purandar Prabhu, 100%, Giriraj Das, then Sham Prabhu, then Asim Goputra Prabhu, then Ayush, then Anita Mataji, Anshi Mataji, Radhika Mataji, पिंकी माता जी, ये सब वो फॉल्स वाले पे होंगे. एक ट्विस्ट क्वेश्चन था वो बीच में एक.
Correct.
ये सब उस पे सबकी विकेट गिरी होगी. मेरे को समझ नहीं आया. मैंने कहा ये क्या है, दोबारा पढ़ा.
बड़ा डिफिकल्ट था आज.
हाँ, वो नेगेटिव का नेगेटिव पता नहीं क्या बनाया प्रभु जी लोगों ने.
किया उसको चेक करने के लिए दोबारा.
ओके. जीत माता जी, सौरभ प्रभु, नीना माता जी, विजय माता जी, and the whole Prabhupada Kripa Sangha. Okay. Wonderful. तो थैंक यू फॉर पार्टिसिपेटिंग. देखिए आप कह रहे थे कैसे इतने सारे डिवोटी, असीम गोपुत्र प्रभु, सौरभ प्रभु, रानी प्रभु सब लगे हुए हैं क्विज बनाने में और करने में. सो इट इज अ गुड सर्विस एट लीस्ट फॉर ऑल ऑफ देम दैट वी अंडरस्टैंड, appreciate by participating, है ना, like this. So कल हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था किस तरह से कि जो भगवान है उन्होंने बोला अर्जुन को कि आप अश्वत्थामा के ऊपर कोई भी किसी भी तरह की कृपा करने की जरूरत नहीं है, हाँ, कोई मर्सी दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, हाँ, बिकॉज ही इज अ ब्रह्मबंधु एंड ही हैज किल्ड इनोसेंट बॉयज इन द स्लीप. So basically what he said कि भाई कि he has broken all the many codes of the world, even general moral values. So he should not be saved. Rather, don't have any pity upon him. बल्कि उसका वध करना ही, उसको मार डालना ही ठीक रहेगा. Like this. तो उसका क्या रीजन था और उसके अंदर क्या एक बेसिक मॉरल वैल्यूज होनी चाहिए एक क्षत्रिय के अंदर, तो वो अब अगले आज के श्लोक से हम शुरू करते हैं. सो विल बिगिन. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. शील प्रभुपाद की जय. सो उसके बाद जो है ये आज का श्लोक है. मत्तम परम मतम उन्मतम सुप्तम बालम स्त्रियम जड़म प्रपन्नम वीरथम भीतम नारी पुम हंति धर्मवेद. तो देखिए कितने सारे लोग बता रहे हैं कि किन किन लोगों को हाँ नहीं मारना चाहिए. हाँ, मत्तम केयरलेस, परमत्तम इंटॉक्सिकेटेड, उन्मत्तम insane, suptam asleep, balam boy, striyam woman, jadam foolish, prapannam surrendered, virtham one who has lost his chariot, bhitam afraid, not, ripum enemy, hanti kill, dharmavit one who knows the principles of religion. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace, Iti Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his chariot. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. ये क्या है? धर्मविद जिनको क्षत्रिय धर्म मालूम है, so they, if he crosses the Kshatriya dharma line, then he is he's to be killed, because then no longer it will no longer apply to him. Like we see in the case of Karna, they all attacked Abhimanyu. सबने मिलके उसको 16 साल के बच्चे को मार दिया मिलके. So then they broke the codes of the war. So then when their turn came, so then the same thing was Krishna allowed कि okay, they broke the codes of the war, you also break the codes of the war. So now here Krishna is telling how कि किन-किन लोगों को मारना नहीं चाहिए. Purport: an enemy who does not resist is never killed by a warrior who knows the principles of religion. Formerly, battles were fought on the principles of religion and not for the sake of sense gratification. So it doesn't mean कि हमें अपने देश की सीमा बढ़ानी है, एक कोई strategic area है वो ले लेंगे तो हमारा देश और मजबूत हो जाएगा. Not for these purposes. Or I just want to loot somebody, so let's attack this neighboring country and then we loot the country like this. These are some of the codes of religious war, Dharma Yudh. Formerly, war was never declared by the whims of selfish political leaders. It was carried out on the religious principles free from all vices. Violence carried out on the religious principles is far superior to the so-called non-violence. So Prabhupada kabhi bhi chukte nahi hai, because violence is happening. So people, abhi main dhoond raha tha, jab after doing this quiz, so I was saying, okay, who broke the codes of the war? I thought I will get some examples on the internet. Kaun se tode. But most of the places I saw, people were criticizing the Pandavas or the Krishna like this. Most of the comments I saw were antis, saying they did this, they did this. Why? Because if you don't read Mahabharata and then you don't read Srimad Bhagavatam, then you don't understand the essence. And then from particular stories, a particular chapter, we try to take meaning, screw a different meaning out of it, just to show our intellectual, but it has no meaning. Rather, by doing so, we make offenses, and we make our spiritual journey that much difficult. Okay, so next one. So now Krishna will tell each reason that why he needs to be killed. Swaprananya parapranai prapushyanti agrana khala tadvadastasya hirsheo yaddoshadyati adapuman. Swapranan, one's own life, one who, paraparane, at the cost of others' lives, prapushnati, maintains properly, agrina, shameless, khala, wretched, tatvada, killing of him, tasya, his, he, certainly, shreya, well-being, yat, by which, doshat, by the fault, yati, goes, adha, downwards, puman, a person. Translation: a cruel and wretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he will go down by his own actions. Purport: a life for a life is a just punishment for a person who cruelly and shamelessly lives at the cost of another's life. Political morality is to punish a person by death sentence in order to save a cruel person from going to hell. That a murderer is condemned to a death sentence by the state is good for the culprit, because in his next life, he will not have to suffer for his act of murder. Such a death sentence for the murderer is the lowest possible punishment offered to him. And it is said in the Smriti Shastra that men who are punished by the king on the principles of a life for life are purified of all their sins, so much so that they may be eligible for being promoted to the planets of heaven. because the subtle science of how karma works, this unfortunately model people do not know. Rather हम देखते हैं कि how many prisoners they come out of the prison and commit heinous crimes. So many of them, you see, they put them behind the bars, child abuses and all, they come back, do the same thing again. So that's why strict punishment was given in the Vedic times, and nobody was implicated. Rather, the Shastras बताते हैं किस तरह से कि such punishment is so good for a person, because उसको अगर फांसी की सजा या मृत्यु की सजा मिल गई तो उसके बाद he can also go to Devlok also. Because he has already borne the punishment in this very life of the same deed, like this. According to Manu, the great author of civic codes and religious principles, even the killer of an animal is to be considered a murderer, because animal food is never meant for the civilized man, whose primary duty is to prepare himself for going back to Godhead. तो केवल मनुष्यों को ही मारने की सजा नहीं है, बल्कि जो लोग जानवरों की भी हत्या करते हैं तो उनका भी they also get reaction. He says in that in the act of killing an animal, there is a regular conspiracy by the party of the sinners, and all of them are liable to be punished as murderers, exactly like a party of conspirators who kill a human being combinedly. अब किस को हिस्सा मिलता है वो? He who gives the permission, he who kills the animal, he who sells the slaughtered animal, he who cooks the animal, he who administers distribution of the foodstuff, and at last he who eats such cooked animal food are all murderers, and all of them are liable to be punished by the laws of nature. So strict. अगर ये बचपन से पढ़ाएं स्कूल के अंदर कि ऐसे लिखा है मनुस्मृति में, और ये बोलते हैं, तो you'll find that only very small percentage of people will dare to kill animals to satisfy their tongues, because कोई शास्त्र पढ़ाने वाला ही नहीं है. So then people do not know what is good for them. Let's read ahead. No one can create a living being despite all advancement of material science, and therefore no one has a right to kill a living being by one's independent whim. Because none of us can create a living being, so that what right we have to kill somebody, like that. But that won't apply for a murderer, to whom judge is giving the punishment, because that we see that is beneficial for him also, and for the society also. For the animal eaters, the scriptures have sanctioned restricted animal sacrifices only, and such sanctions are there just to restrict the opening of the slaughterhouses and not to encourage animal killing. The procedure under which animal sacrifice is allowed in the scriptures is good both for animal sacrificed and animal eaters. It is good for the animal in the sense that the sacrificed animal is at once promoted to the human form of life after being sacrificed at the altar. And the animal eater is saved from the grosser type of sins, eating meat supplied by organized slaughterhouses, which are ghastly places for breeding all kinds of material afflictions to society, country, and people in general. The material world is itself a place always full of anxieties, and by encouraging animal slaughter, the whole atmosphere becomes polluted more and more. How? By war, pestilence, famine, and many other unwanted calamities. So much. Pestilence means epidemic diseases. So like this. So we can see that whatever is happening in the world, एक तरफ हम इतनी तरक्की कर रहे हैं, technology is growing, but the society is going into pits. Countries are going to wars, कहीं सूखा पड़ रहा है, कहीं कुछ हो रहा है. So all that, why it is happening? Because animals are being killed I think in millions every day, or I don't know, millions every minute. I don't know how many they kill. That if you include fish and all everything, then I think it is, I don't know what is the number. If you can Google, it will be some millions per minute or per second. I don't know. So then you get the reaction. you get the reaction. और जब उनको बलि दी जाती है ना, जो प्रॉपर शास्त्रों के अनुसार, ताकि कुछ लोग जो मीट खाने से नहीं रुकेंगे उन लोगों के लिए, सो उसमें लिख रहे हैं कि जानवर जो है उसके लिए क्या है, वो जो 84 लाख योनि का साइकिल है, वो जहां पर भी है, immediately he gets a human body. And the person is saved from the sin by going to hell because he's done through the Vedic purpose. And gradually it is given that it's a gradual progress, because gradually he will develop faith in scriptures, Vedas, he will read something more and understand such an activity is not a good one to do. Okay, so now we come to the next one.
Prabhuji,
Pratik?
pestilence, COVID-19 is also one kind of pestilence that happened.
Yes, Prabhu. We can say COVID is also, it's an epidemic disease. ये देखो प्रभु जी दिखा रहे हैं आपको स्क्रीन के ऊपर that pestilence means epidemic. So COVID is also comes under pestilence also. बल्कि जब वो COVID आया था, many people took Prabhupada course to show that what scripture says about animal killing. तो इतना सब होते हुए भी, इतनी तरक्की होते हुए भी, so called civilized, countries होते हुए भी, one could never imagine such a big country will invade a country in such civilized times, है ना? But we don't know how many animals were killed every day in Ukraine also. Like this. We don't know. You'll see how many are killed. So who's getting reaction for what? इसलिए भगवान बोलते हैं कि जो कर्म की गति है बहुत गहन है, और वो जो कर्म का जो रिएक्शन मिलता है वो पर्सन को भी मिलता है, सिटी को भी मिलता है, कंट्री को भी मिलता है, और प्लेनेट को भी मिलता है. Because we are also part of the whole thing, and because we don't protest, so then everybody gets a collective karma also. Obviously it'll be different for different, but you get a collective karma, and you get और क्या हमें मिलता है कि आदि दैविक, कि जो मौसम खराब होते हैं, सूखा आता है, बारिश नहीं होती है, all these things you get like this. अभी इन्होंने रॉनी प्रभु ने लिखा है यहाँ पर कि land animals excluding fish, 70 billion chickens, 1.5 billion pigs, 300 million cows. This ये क्या है? रोज का है, साल का है, क्या है ये?
1 year, 2020.
It is for the year 2021, 1 year.
So एक साल के अंदर 70 बिलियन चिकन, 1.5 बिलियन pigs, 300 million cows are killed. और this does not include other poor animals. और जो fish है, it is around 70 billion fish, which is both farmed as well as wild caught. So these are numbers. So इस नंबर को, इन सारे नंबर को ऐड करके प्रभु 7 billion से डिवाइड करना. Total population is 7 billion.
Yes.
So can you divide? Just combine the whole number, जितने भी बिलियन हैं, इनको 7 billion से डिवाइड कर दीजिए.
Around 20 billion.
हाँ?
20 billion.
20
billion. Like this total is 140 billion approximately.
So आप देखिए, तो 20 each collective karma for each human is 20 billion killings per person per year.
Per year.
बताइए. तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि इसके रिएक्शन कैसे मिलेंगे. So everybody is getting reaction. And the idea is not to start killing those people who are killing, cow slaughter and all, but idea is to educate the society. So when we educate, Prabhupada did not start with, stepped out with a placard in his hand and say, kill the cow killers, and like, why? Because you have to educate the society. जब हम सोसाइटी को एजुकेट करेंगे, जब बच्चों को ग्रंथ पढ़ाएंगे, भगवद गीता पढ़ेंगे, रामायण पढ़ेंगे, then they will understand the general moral values. When they see अपने पेरेंट्स को वैल्यूज फॉलो करते हुए देखेंगे, सोसाइटी को करते देखेंगे, then automatically everybody will follow it. But you can see the karma, each one of us carrying 20 billion killing of 20 billion animals per head per year. Amazing. Okay, so we go to the next one, 38. Prati shrutam cha bhavata panchalya shunvato mama aharasya shirasa tasya yaste manini putraha. Prati shrutam, it is promised, cha, and bhavata by you, Panchale unto the daughter of King Panchal, Draupadi, Shrinvata, which was heard, Mama by me personally, Arishe must I bring, Shira the head, Tasya of him, Ya whom, Te your, Manini consider, Putraha the killer of your sons. Translation: Furthermore, I have personally heard you promise Draupadi that you would bring forth the head of the killer of her sons. तो क्या बोला उन्होंने? एक बोला कि अश्वत्थामा को मार दो क्योंकि ब्रह्म बंधु है, इसमें कोई क्वालिटीज है नहीं, ब्राह्मण की ब्राह्मण को नहीं मानना चाहिए, बट ये क्या है? ब्राह्मण नहीं है, ब्रह्म बंधु है. दूसरा क्या है? ही हैज वायलेटेड ऑल द कोड्स ऑफ द वॉर. धर्म युद्ध के जो भी नियम है इसने तोड़ दिए. बालक को मारा, जो सोते हुए थे उनको मारा, लाइक दिस. फिर और क्या बोला कि पीपल हु एग्जिस्ट एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ अदर पीपल्स लाइफ शुड बी किल्ड. For their own benefit, they should kill, because they will commit more sins, and they will also harm the society. So for that reason, should we also be killed? Then Krishna is telling to Arjun, and you also promised Draupadi. And then he's a murderer, and he dissatisfied his own master also. So he killed for no one's benefit. He did not gain anything, Ashwathama. His master did not gain anything. We Pandavas did not gain anything. Nobody got any benefit. So like this is the reason he's giving. So this is the next verse, 39th verse. This is the reason Krishna is giving. Put the next one. Who's there to read? Rani Prabhu. Yes, Rani Prabhu. Start.
Tad asau vadheyatam papa attai atmabandhuha bhartuscha vipriyam veera kritavan kula pamsana tat. Therefore, asau, this man, vadhyatam, will be killed, papahu, the sinner, atatai, assaulter, atma, own, bandhuha, killer of sons, bhartu, of the masters, cha, also, vipriyam, having not satisfied, veera, a warrior, kritvan, one who has done it, kula, pamsana, the burnt remnants of the family. This man is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Not only that, but he has also dissatisfied his master. He is but the burnt remnants of his family. Kill him immediately. The son of Dronacharya is condemned here as the burnt remnants of his family. The good name of Dronacharya was very much respected. Although he joined the enemy camp, the Pandavas held him always in respect, and Arjun saluted him before beginning the fight. There was nothing wrong in that way, but the sons of Dronacharya degraded himself by committing acts which are never done by the Dvijas or the twice-born higher castes. Ashwathama, the son of Dronacharya, committed murder by killing the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi, by which he dissatisfied his master Duryodhan, who never approved of the heinous act of killing the 5 sleeping sons of the Pandavas. This means that Ashwathama became an assaulter of Arjun's own family members, and thus he was liable to be punished by him. In the Shastras, he who attacks without notice or kills from behind or sets fire to another's house or kidnaps one's wives is condemned to death. Krishna reminded Arjun of these facts so that he might take notice of them and do the needful. You are
Hare Krishna. Go to the next one.
Suta Uvacha. Should I continue? Suta
Yes, go on, Prabhu.
Suta Uvacha. Evam parikshata dharmam partha krishnena chodita naichad dhantum guru sutam yadyapi atmahanam mahan. Suta Goswami Uvach said, Evam, this parikshata, being examined, dharmam, in the matter of duty, partha, Sri Arjun, krishnena, by Lord Krishna, chodita, being encouraged, na echat, did not like, hantum, to kill, guru sutam, the son of his teacher, yadyapi, although Atmahanam, murder of the sons. Mahan, very great. Sud Goswami said, although Krishna, who was examining Arjun in religion, encouraged Arjun to kill the sons of Dronacharya, Arjun, a great soul, did not like the idea of killing him, although Ashwathama was a heinous murderer of Arjun's family members. Arjun was a great soul, undoubtedly, which is proved here also. He is encouraged herein personally by the Lord to kill the son of Drona, but Arjun considers that the son of his great teacher should be spared, for he happens to be the son of Dronacharya, even though he is an unworthy son, having done all sorts of heinous acts whimsically for no one's benefit. Lord Shri Krishna encouraged Arjun outwardly to test Arjun's sense of duty. It is not that Arjun was incomplete in the sense of his duty, nor was Lord Shri Krishna unaware of Arjun's sense of duty. But Lord Shri Krishna puts to the tests many of his pure devotees just to magnify the sense of duty. The gopis were put to such tests as well. Prahlad Maharaj also was put to such a test. All pure devotees come out successful in the respective tests by the Lord.
तो ये देख सकते हैं हम कि यहाँ पर प्रभुपाद क्या कह रहे हैं कि अर्जुन, that just to show Arjun's sense of duty, then Krishna asked him to kill it. So this is a very subtle point, and we should know many a times we go to authority to ask something, and we will see Guru or authority will give us the permission reluctantly. So we should not think, I got it. Rather, one should have the sensitivity to understand permission is being given reluctantly means he doesn't want to give, but you are insistent, so he's giving. Like that. So one should be, as we grow in bhakti, so one should become sensitive to such kind of things, because as devotees grow, the mature devotee usually will not speak directly, unless there is something gross happening, which usually doesn't happen in devotee's case. So then it is usually then let it be known the junior one has to learn by his mistakes. He will do something, he will have some problem, he'll again come and he'll again say. So till the time, so this is how things work. Things don't work at such a gross level. And we also see how Krishna, not only he allowed Arjun here to show, and he's saying, but in whole scriptures we see so many times कि जैसे भगवान ने प्रहलाद महाराज को बोला, ओके मांगो, क्या वर मांगते हो, है ना? So why he is giving benedictions? Because Krishna knows कि Prahlad doesn't need any, he has no material desire in his heart, but he wanted to showcase, okay, how is the heart of a pure devotee. Similarly, Prabhupada is giving example of the gopis. They went in the dark of the night, and Krishna, he started giving him karma and gyan. It is not good for young ladies to come out in the night. Your husband is waiting. Why don't you go back? It is not right. Like this. So, इसी तरह से जब कृष्ण ने उद्धव को भेजा था वृंदावन चिट्ठी लिख के, और वो ज्ञान का दिया, भगवान परमात्मा है, भगवान, उन्होंने बोला कृष्ण सबके हृदय में है, वो परमात्मा है, और वो सबके हृदय में है, वो आपसे अलग नहीं है. तो जो गोपियां थी, उन्होंने बोला कि ये जो ज्ञान है, ये जाके मथुरा वालों को दे देना, जहां पर वो रह रहे हैं, क्योंकि अभी थोड़े दिन में उनका भी यही हाल होगा जो हमारा हाल हुआ. जैसे उन्होंने हमें छोड़ दिया, वैसे उनको भी छोड़ेंगे. पर ये जो आप थ्योरी दे रहे हो, इससे वो सेटिस्फाई हो जाएंगे. फॉर अस, वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड. सो यू गिव इट टू दोज गर्ल्स इन मथुरा who are going to get the same fate as us, but they will be satisfied with these answers, but we are not. Then in the same letter, then Krishna says, I will come back and I will never leave you. Of course, those things are इतने ग्रॉस तरीके से नहीं बताई गई हैं, बट जब आचार्यों को टीका पढ़ते हैं तो पढ़ते हैं कि उस लेटर के अंदर सटल क्या चल रहा है. तो इसीलिए one should be very, very at least try to be sensitive of what is being spoken. बहुत बात हमें लगता है कि ये हमें मिल गया, कैसे प्रभु जी, they were very encouraging. Yes, they were very encouraging, but question is that no, in bhakti nobody will discourage you to do anything, because somehow or other, if my heart is into something and I am telling, okay, I want to do this, and then somebody says, okay, keep on doing it like this, because we are unable to take the indirect hint like this, and we take it as a positive thing, है ना? But जैसे यहाँ कह रहे हैं कि it is not a positive thing, rather it is a negative thing, and then devotees then are left to learn by the school of hard knocks, like this, and like this. So this is our session for today, and Atharv is saying I can read. Sorry, Atharv, I took so much time. 3 people are waiting. I couldn't through. So, but I encourage you, Atharv, read this Krishna book. है ना? आप भागवतम नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं, but जो छोटे बच्चे हैं, they can read Krishna book. The same chapter you can read, है ना? In a Krishna book, and teach us also. So, if anybody has a question, we can take. Otherwise, we'll end because we are already 1 minute above. Hare Krishna. So we'll end the session now. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavind ki jai. Nidai Gaur Premanande Hari. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna, Arun Prabhu. Oh, कैसे हैं आप?